You've brought down Tiamat, have you? The Destroyer will not be pleased. You need Vulgrim more than ever, yes?
You can get the boss to stay on the ground after the first cycle with proper timing. Yeah.
I mean, you were sort of keeping her pinned for a while that first time when you died.
Yeah, it's part of it is it's a matter of like proper mastery. And counter blocks are definitely something important, like a bunch of other things.
Mailboxes. Right? Stand the test of time.
Okay, so we want to talk to Vulgrim for a bit. How much do I have?
Vulgrim's got something new.
What's a Wrath Shard?
Something new for you.
So, Wrath Shards and Wrath Cores increase effectively my mana. Ooh, so these are some options. Okay.
Don't forget over here.
So, charged attacks with the crossblade reap Wrath Souls. Oh, that's
That would be yellow.
Yeah, that's yellow.
Souls.
I can get the Harvester, making it so the Scythe gets me.
Hey, it's Death Scythe.
Yeah, this is Death Scythe. This will get me extra money effectively. These are just some extra moves. Or we can get it so we get extra move energy. Bane, slotted bonus generates, so I'd have to slot this in. So really the question is, do we want Wrath Souls from these, or potentially more money from the Scythe?
You haven't really used the Scythe much, have you?
I haven't been using it that much, no. I mostly use the basic war sword because it does more damage.
Let me know if I can help you.
Well, what upgrades are there for the sword? Things that are too high?
All of these are special new moves.
Oh, don't forget over here.
Okay, let's try more money.
Old Vulgrim's got something new for you.
Oh. So the Harvester is a full upgrade.
It's practically a new scythe.
Yeah, it is.
Which is why it's so expensive.
Yeah, that's why it is. Okay. So anyway, we can now serpent hole between all of the locations. We haven't really got any new moves.
I always liked the symbol of a spiral.
Yeah.
Remember when we had that one class about shapes and meanings and such? And I
This is cool.
The ground you walk on lights up.
Well, not
and
only
the path
that, this
emerges
is actually I never thought about this when I played this years ago.
This is what it would look like if you were playing Bastion, but
Yeah, but no, this is a masked loading screen.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of having us go through a loading screen, they have us run through this, and they can do the meat of the actual loading of the next level this way.
Well, it's nice. I like the aesthetic of it.
I trust that she suffered.
Not nearly enough.
Beautiful. The second guardian, the Griever, moves in tunnels beneath this place. But first there is an obstacle that must be removed. Ulthane, one of the Old Ones.
You didn't mention that before.
Changing the deal already, Samael.
Be silent, filth. My business is with the Horsemen. Ulthane is no ally of the Destroyer. But you won't find the Griever without confronting the Black Hammer. And that will require strength you don't possess. Yet.
What the hell do you think you're doing, Samael?
Tell him, Watcher, how you stifle the Horseman's true power in order to keep him on the Council's leash. War. Destroy this parasite.
You so much as blink at me, and the Council will end you. Both of you. I'm protected.
Not in here. You are War, rider of the Red Horse. Not some puppet on this pathetic creature's strings.
War, I will make you suffer.
Focus your anger. A great rage stirs within you, clawing to get out. You must release it, or a puppet you'll remain. You are reborn.
What was that?
The Horseman is broken, but there is still much power in him. For a moment I saw one who would stand alone against the Destroyer's army.
God damn. His design is fantastic. Look at how cool he is.
I know. Well, have you ever seen the really, really old movie with a very young Tom Cruise called Legend with Tim Curry as
Yeah,
the
I've
demon?
seen that Tim Curry.
He sort of reminds me of that. The face, at least.
Yeah, definitely.
As I said before, I love how expressive the characters are.
Yeah. Probably should
Because
actually.
you could tell how conflicted War was with his grimace and his, you know,
It
turning
helps that the
away.
voice acting is really, really good in this game. Like, there's a lot of games with really good voice acting, but this game's voice acting I really would actually put on the same caliber as the most recent God of War. Like, they picked a good cast for that. Oh, there's a thing over there I never grabbed. Oh, I might not have actually been able to meet it.
Just a shame there aren't more female characters in the Darksiders
No.
series.
Well, there's a female character in...
Well, there's Uriel, and then there's, I suppose, some of the old ones in the second game, and Lilith,
Yeah.
and then there's obviously going to be Fury for the next game,
Yep.
the third game. That'll be interesting.
It's an armor piece down below one of these things. There it is. Oops. Hello.
It'd be really cool to have a cosplay group of the Four Horsemen, but it would be ridiculous.
It'd be difficult to do. I mean, you and I could conceivably be, like, pull off, like, well, I mean, I could be any of them.
Death might be a little difficult, though.
Death?
Considering he's barely wearing anything.
Yeah, well, if I manage to actually lose weight.
You would not paint your body gray. That would be insane. I think War,
I mean,
War
I would
be
I would rather
simpler
figure out how to
costume.
paint my body gray, maybe, than wear, like, the extent that...
Oh, right, I forget. You don't like wearing layers and layers. I always thought that you'd be more of a Strife character. Granted, Strife hasn't been released yet.
Yeah, I don't know what Strife looks like.
Strife looks cool. He actually looks a lot like your space pirates.
Yeah.
The front mask with the hair sticking out the back.
Yeah. I mean,
And the long coat, like the
if you
trench coat.
wanted, probably not for PAX, but, like, we could potentially pull off that at some point.
I used to do a lot of
There you go.
cosplay, so that's why I mentioned this.
Old Volgrim's got something new for you. Take your time.
You know, people are wondering about Fury and Strife. Yeah, it was supposed to be Famine and Pestilence. I don't really know what their equivalents would be. Because to me, famine is hunger, and pestilence is
You
disease.
are as wise as you are powerful.
Fury seems more in line with rage, and then Strife is about suffering. I would almost feel like pestilence and
Old Volgrim's got something
famine
new
are
for
both
you.
different forms of suffering.
You are as wise. Greetings. Farewell. For now.
I think famine. People are asking about like famine and pestilence and stuff. Famine I mean, it's about the wasting away and being unable to supply enough for yourself. Pestilence is just sickness and disease. Ugh. And then war. Death is the ultimate end of everything. War, famine, and pestilence most definitely lead to death.
Yep. There was a big long argument on Discord earlier about why not pestilence and famine. I stand by the whole, it just probably would get very, very boring.
Well, also, the names don't really roll off the tongue well as a character's name.
But like, what would you say Famine's signature weapon is? Like, admittedly, Fury...
Famine could suck people's souls out of them somehow. I don't know. And then Pestilence would be all about spreading disease and AoEs.
What the hell was that? I almost died there. That's...
Uh-oh. Oh, are you going into a berserk mode? What's up with your bar?
I'm almost dead. That's what's going on. Yeah, something just... He took out all of my health in like one go. I'm not entirely clear why. But like, pretty much you would have to have like weaponized insects and like... I'm just not entirely convinced that
Famine is just a summoner that summons rats and locusts and stuff.
Yeah, like, you'd effectively have to have, like, a giant mess of bugs that you're, like, swinging around or something like that.
Because back in the old days, famine was usually caused by the crops failing, which would occur when there were rodent infestations, bug infestations, or just a poor rainy season, or a frost. Frosts would cause famine. If the spring was at hand and farmers plant too soon, their sprouts could all die if it got cold enough. And then there's a lot of crops where they're supposed to ripen.
None of that is okay. What the hell? That guy has like a...
He's blue. He's a recolor of the orange.
Yeah, but he's got like... So he's
eating the souls. He's eating the souls from the secondary dudes. So maybe you have to kill him first rather than the underlings, because the underlings are going to continue feeding him souls.
Guess I have to kill him first. Sheesh.
Because he seemed to be sitting back, laughing, holding his stomach, going...
I mean, at least I'm not actually being set back for this. Like, the interesting thing is I'm still gaining souls. It was not immediately clear that he would do that. Okay.
The power of gluttony. Yeah.
You wonder, you know you have demon mode, right? Yeah, but like, I would like to learn how to fight these guys without the super move. The super mode.
Yep, dodge out of that. Okay, so the other guys are coming, but keep going for him. Might be difficult when they're collateral damage. Oh, the blade at the same time. Yes, see? Great. Got him first. Because otherwise he would constantly heal off of these guys.
Yep. No, we're good. Also, leveling up my scythe helped substantially. Oh, come on.
Durf sends his regards about your shirt. I suppose we never did mention what you were sad about or angry about earlier.
I mean, it should be real obvious if you look at my Discord. What happened? Oh, you mean like as part of this video? That's a good point. Yeah, we never actually did. Never did acknowledge why I was so mad when we started this session, which was like apparently only only an hour ago? Nah, had to have been longer. Did we ever?
Oh,
stop
then that
recording?
means that this will not be in the recording that's going with the episode where we actually mention you being angry.
Yeah, we'll get there at some point. Okay, so I should probably mention. I mean, most people probably were here for that. But so some dillhole stole my shirts. Multiple dillholes.
Well, so you created a shirt design and you went through the effort of
I
trying out
worked-
different printing companies, figuring out what samples you liked
that's
the
fine.
most, determining which ones you wanted to actually
Yeah, I put
post your
some
sharp
time
on.
into, you know, making sure the shirt design worked. I've spent a fair amount of money doing like product testing to see which ones were good. I've done a lot to like, you know, product test this effectively. And Shell's just like, "Hey, I'm gonna."
While you stream, I'm going to see how...
Oh, I'm dead.
Oh, ouch.
Yep.
I'm going to see Wander's shirt on Amazon. And then there were more than just his. It's like, what's going on? And one of them was also a poorly photoshopped together version of your main icon. You see, that one I'm suspicious about. Even more so than the ones that just directly stole your main design. Because someone had to have found that somewhere and slapped it on your background.
I mean, it looks like they had vectored it. Like,
But there's a white edge around it.
yeah. So what they did was they just stole the design from the video and ran it through a vectoring program.
No, I'm talking about the one with your other, like your profile
Oh,
icon
that?
slapped onto another one.
Yeah, I don't. There's
They must have known who you were.
yeah. No, that person went through some work to steal the design, as opposed to the other people who just slap it through a program. I mean, they had to know enough about who I and what I am and stuff like that to do these things. Because like I was also the only YouTuber with stolen designs on any of the pages. The problem is what I think they are is they're these they're effectively people that will that'll make like one Amazon merch account. Like they'll repeatedly make
They'll just make new ones and
Yeah.
just steal as much as they can. And,
just
if
like
they don't
a bunch
get
of
caught,
shell shirt designs to get as much as possible, more or less, without any repercussions, because you know they might be behind like a VPN or like any number of things, so they're hard to track down or almost impossible to punish accordingly.
So we had to stop gaming for a little bit to send out a bunch of DMCAs.
You.
That was not fun. And you literally only had the shirts out for a couple days. Didn't take long for them to try to monopolize off of that. I just hope none of the fraudulent ones were purchased.
Oh. So that's the trick with this guy. Stunlock them. If they're
Ah.
stunlocked, they can't absorb any more souls.
Cool.
But the fact that he calls it the first official shirt. Well, I'm fairly certain what they did was they actually stole my description, because mine also says...
Don't get the hoodie if it's not Wander's official hoodie.
Yeah. Is somebody talking about a hoodie?
Yeah.
Where?
In the chat.
I don't...
Pumpkin.
Who said it?
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. Okay. Shipping in Buenos Aires, want the hoodie. Yeah, absolutely make sure it's from the official, like my official store. If it's gonna be going to that country, you would need it from... Make sure I have posted the link to the store or one of my moderators or something like that, and it's the right one first.
But yours would be on Streamlabs for hoodies.
Fuck.
Correct? Yeah, currently you're only selling on Amazon merch and Streamlabs, but a lot of the fraudulent ones are on Amazon. So I would say don't get them until the other ones have been dealt with.
But yeah, so if it's a Streamlabs shop with a bunch of other shirts of mine, it's kind of okay. Amazon has a hoodie option.
No, but that's not... No, the Amazon hoodie is not Wander's. Don't get it.
Yeah, so I can produce an Amazon merch hoodie, but I haven't had the chance yet. It also only ships to the US.
The problem with the one that's on Amazon is one of the people on Amazon put up 2 listings naming themselves Wanderbot as well. So they're an imposter on top of being an art thief. No, the official one doesn't have a hoodie unless it's on TeePublic. You're just gonna have to...
Yeah. This is...
Or not TeePublic, sorry.
Yeah.
Streamlabs. TeePublic is also bad.
Yeah. Okay. So baseline, I'm going to put out a video in a couple of days.
Saying precisely what links are the right ones.
Yeah.
Don't get them anywhere else because we're going to be taking them down.
On Twitch chat, but don't look it up yourself because there's enough confusion out there. I would,
Greeting.
There's enough confusion out there that it is... I can't guarantee any merch, especially not while I'm streaming. Like, this is the problem I'm running into. Somebody effectively might go looking for merch at this point and might buy one of the counterfeit ones. And, like, I have no easy way of, like, directing people that way if they're looking for it. Because, I mean, it's effectively like asking directions to the library in Columbus, Ohio. It's like,
yeah, so don't buy any Wander merch until all of the fraudulent ones have been removed, or you have the original link from the Discord.
Fish. Jerkfish. But yeah, so I have a Streamlabs hoodie, but I do not have...
Not one on Amazon.
Yep, nothing on Amazon yet.
Well, you have your original shirt on Amazon, but don't confuse it with the other 2 fraudulent shirts.
Yep. Nope, can't do anything with this. But yeah, this is the reason why it's such a problem. Because this is why it's such a problem, because effectively it's very hard to verify whether or not I'm even selling the right one, which storefront it is. It'll say, like, you know, some of them even have Wanderbot as the seller.
Yeah, one of them actually named themselves Wanderbot, which is impersonation on top of selling copied merch.
What the hell is that over there?
Oh, some kind of serpent.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, I suppose sorry to people that are watching this video
and super
later
confused.
On and super really confused.
This is part of the reason why I was trying hard not to talk about it.
Sorry, we won't discuss it further.
Because effectively, it's very difficult for me to properly, like, kind of talk about these things. Because 1, it's still kind of fresh, and 2, it's really frustrating. Because, I mean, I could probably have immediately called support numbers and stuff like that, and, like, really, like, tried to get it all taken down. I don't know. But I don't know how easy it would have been, and I would have been on hold and a billion other things. And oh, that's interesting. There's
like a door, or no, that's a Volgrim portal.
No, it's a shadow challenge. Oh. We got to figure out how to go into the shadow realm to actually get to these, though.
No. That's nice water effects.
Yeah, no, this game looks nice. But I don't know.
So did the water level rise in this place? It just looks like it used to be grassy, and I mean there's a building there.
Yep. Now it all flooded. Talk to Bird for help. Unfortunately, that'd be like asking me for YouTube help.
No, that would actually be like you asking someone that...
Asking my dad for military issues.
He's not in the correct department for it.
Yeah, exactly. No, Bird is, Bird is... whatever section he's on, it has nothing to do with Amazon merch. Oh, I'm not even sure if they're in the same location.
I think to deal with it, you'd need customer service or something.
Yeah, I would straight up have to ask somebody else. Bert is... Maybe in like a couple of years when Bert is, you know, some high management thing, he could pull strings. Maybe. But no, I mean, Amazon is used to this. It happens plenty. People are dicks. Life goes on.
Supposedly it's been a huge issue for Etsy because for a while Etsy had been pretty much a place where independent artists and people that made handmade jewelry and clothing and plushies but what happened was they allowed wholesale to start, and suddenly you got all these Chinese companies selling all of their knockoff merchandise.
Junk. Ugh.
Yep.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, I actually running into this problem has actually made me 1,000 times more appreciative of YouTube, which is a weird feeling.
Because of their ability to track down content IDs?
Yeah, but also, like, it's super obvious. Like, more or less, as far as I can tell, anyone can kind of make these are cool creatures, whatever they are. But anyone can kind of make like an Amazon
Naga
merch account. And there's no like branding and stuff, it's just kind of there. Like, say what you want with how YouTube handles things and how like frustrating it is to like grow and whatnot. You pretty much don't have to worry about somebody else taking your shit without being somebody with skin in the game. So like, you know, if a larger channel stole one of my videos and just like put it up, I could pretty much just be like, yo, no, and like smack him down and get their channel shut down, and they actually have a punishment. The problem with like a lot of these like wholesaler situations and whatnot is, you know, there's no direct accountability. We need a special move before I can do anything to that. Trying to find all of the like kind of collectibles here, exploring for a bit. But you know, for Amazon merch, all these people just kind of crop up out of nowhere, and because they're effectively trying to confuse people, apparently Bash Boy in chat, his friend almost bought one of the counterfeits. That's the frustrating thing, is like, effectively, they might actually net a couple of sales.
The good thing about the one that's on TeePublic, though, is it's a campaign. I don't think they print until the end of the 7-day cycle or 3-day cycle.
Yeah.
So if it gets taken down before that, everyone that pledged to it gets their money back, and...
Yeah, well, you can have, like, a zero... you can totally have, like, a small number of shirts as part of your, like, campaign. But, yeah, they don't do it until the end. I don't know. It's just frustrating.
It's just very frustrating. And the
it's
thing
very
is,
predatory. And yeah, whoever this is just going to move on to steal somebody else's shirt. Or make another one and steal my shit again.
this is going to be something you're going to have to check on a weekly basis like I do. It's not fun.
And so, kind of to go back to the, this is why I appreciate YouTube thing. YouTube has had so many copyright issues happen that they're terrified of this sort of thing happening. And so they have all these tools to protect YouTubers, copyright holders, and whatever, and it can be kind of punishing. I'm really
surprised some of these t-shirt places haven't been taken down, considering all the stuff that happens
generally
on them.
because it's just small timers. You know, I could.
People are like, Shell Crusade. Yeah. I crusade against art theft.
She does. But like, it would take a a lawsuit, effectively, to get Amazon to really change their ways. Because it's easier for them to just kind of clean up the mess.
I just thought that this Amazon merch thing was by invitation. I mean, I know that only
No,
one of them
you
seems
just
to use
sign up.
Amazon merch.
You request an invitation and then...
Ah.
Yeah. It's not... I forget. This sword healing is not nearly as good as I thought it was going to be. I was really hoping I could use it to heal more often. And why not just file a lawsuit? Suing Amazon...
No. The thing is, so this is how the whole DMCA lawsuits work. So, in the event that you catch something like this swiftly enough, you send a DMCA to the website that's hosting the copyrighted content that someone else posted without your consent. And if they... I think it's the website's responsibility to ensure that the content is removed from them if you provide the valid copyright claim.
But there's no actual punishment for the website for this happening, and so there's generally not a whole lot of motivation to fix the system. Effectively,
and
what
there
they
are some
do...
people that don't police their work enough, so some people could put up shirts and the original artist doesn't know they exist on that website unless they actively search for it.
Did Wander miss the golem door? Nope. I'm just fighting everything else while we're here. And so, like, the reason why YouTube has all these copyright issues and content ID and whatever, the piss money symbol, is because they're scared of somebody suing them for it. Whereas, like, if I sued Amazon over this, I'd probably just get slapped down in court just because they'd drag it out. And...
They probably have a clause when you use Amazon that they're not responsible for the content that's been put on it. Therefore, at most you would be able to sue the dude for maybe the number of shirts that he sold.
Effectively, it would be one of those where it's like, nope, you have to go sue this person instead, and it sucks.
But it makes me wonder, only one of the stolen shirt designs there was through Amazon merch. The other ones seem to be through somewhere else, so does that mean they can...
Yeah, they were just retailers.
Making them? Where?
Forgive me, friend. I would grant you passage were it within my power. Do for me what you have done for my brethren, and I will hinder you no more.
There must be another way.
The curse must be broken. Then you may pass.
Back to the Shadow Realm with you. No.
Or it's like there must be another way.
Shadow lurkers hide and kill them all. It can't be that hard to find.
So people are saying they should just not be allowed to sell anything at all. Unfortunately, with the way the internet is set up, you can more or less just hide and...
Well, we were discussing this earlier, because in the olden days, for instance, if you wanted to create prints or publish a book or something, you had to go through publishers, and you had to have the capital and the means of making it and getting it out there. Nowadays, especially the reason why these t-shirt companies, well, the fraudulent ones at least, or the counterfeit ones, work so well is because of this print on demand. They can just snag a design. They don't have to go through the effort of producing everything themselves in advance because it wouldn't be beneficial to them. They'd be wasting potentially hundreds of dollars. If a company creates merchandise and it's found to be copyrighted content that they've stolen, I believe some companies are forced to destroy said product.
Yep.
So if they were found and sued in a lawsuit and whatnot, so not only would they have spent money on production, but they wouldn't have been able to get any compensation for the destruction of those goods. So with these t-shirt companies that print on demand, there's less potential for loss, because if the design sells, it sells, and if the design doesn't sell, then they move on to the next design that will. So
There we go. That was easy.
And once again, anyone can upload an image from anywhere and go, her, it's mine.
It's mine. Yeah, and this is like a serious
And-
problem just in general on the internet. There's a whole subreddit dedicated to
That
this.
was entertaining.
There's
Or
whole
shall we do it again?
art groups dedicated to it, everything. And I mean, the best ways to protect your work are to watermark it, put your signatures all over it, keep it only
like-
at low resolution. But yours was a vector piece.
Yes, they only had access to a low resolution version, and they effectively ran it through a vectoring tool, and it still had my name on it.
Yeah, they didn't even bother to take your name out.
Nope.
But the reason why they wanted to keep it was because...
Yeah, it's not that the art was good enough to sell, it's that they're trying to capitalize off of my name.
Mm-hmm.
I found it so I can sell and steal money from the owner. That's totally fair. Some people legitimately think that, like, Finders Keepers is a legitimately, like, it is a valid argument on the internet.
I know, I hate it when they go, oh, if you don't want it to be stolen, just don't show it to anyone. But in this day and age, you need to market yourself by showing your work. You can't just say, I'm going to be releasing a graphic novel or a book.
Ultimately, it's just growing pains. Like, straight
Yeah.
up 10 years from now, I don't think this is going to be a problem.
Really? Because every effort to enforce copyright has been struck down.
I mean, I'm going to go back to the YouTube thing. I got a notification today from, 2 days ago from YouTube, more or less being like, hey, by the way, here's a tool that lets you know if somebody else is using your image.
Yeah, I explained that earlier too.
And so, like, I straight up just took down somebody's, give somebody a copyright strike because they had stolen one of my videos. That was
They didn't
great.
even bother to voice over it.
Oh yeah,
their
no,
own.
they didn't do anything to hide the fact that they stole my, my video. And, like, I'm betting stuff like Redbubble, Defender.
Well, the interesting thing that I find too is you're familiar with, say, Adventure Zone and stuff, right? You like
Yeah.
them. I mean, we have our own D&D series going too and whatnot. And they specifically said, please don't sell any merchandise of our characters. Guess what you see on Redbubble? People selling fan art of their characters. And it makes you wonder, is it the fan artist that doesn't know about their policy, or is it someone that stole someone's fan art and is trying to sell it because they know full well about the policy, but they don't care because it's not their art anyway?
In a lot of cases, it's people that don't care. They're just like, hey, I can capitalize on this.
Mm-hmm. It's why a lot of companies have been really stringent with their IP rights.
And so, like...
Do you know that by not enforcing copyright, you're setting a precedent to allow people to infringe on your copyright later? That's why it's so integral to crack down early on. You have to be very careful about who you give permissions to.
How many of these guys I'm supposed to do this for the full 4 minutes? Jesus. Oh, luckily we're hanging... Oh, nope.
Ooh, so this is the burning one again. He doesn't suck souls out. Now, why do those guys have little lights above their heads?
Okay, I'm defending them.
Oh, those are the ones that you're trying to save.
Yep. Unfortunately...
There's friendly fire, or is it not?
No, there's not friendly fire,
Okay,
but...
good.
There's a lot of enemies!
So you have 3 minutes to keep your 6 soldiers alive.
Yeah, there's... I mean, it's mostly fine.
Ooh, a finisher.
Yeah.
Oh. Finish him.
Part of the reason why I don't do the finishers is because,
Everything slows though, so you don't have to worry
Everything
about...
does slow, but the enemies still attack. I'm trying to keep with like big sweeping hits. To more or less stun lock as many of my enemies as possible, as long as possible. Because my big sweeping scythe hits.
Scythe's nice for this.
Yep. Like this move is practically made for this situation. Except for the fact that it might not do as much damage.
That's interesting. I was thinking about scythes and reapers and reaping, and then that led to reap what you sow. And it's funny because sowing is as in sowing the seed into the ground, and you reap the product of the seed, which would be the grasses, the wheat, and whatnot. So you reap what you sow is you take what you plant.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Sorry. I'm very focused. This is tough. Because I effectively have to protect as many of these guys as possible. The more I protect, the better my reward. You know, in retrospect, I've got the counterattacks that I can pull.
Nice. Oh,
okay, there he goes.
Finishing move.
Yeah, I more or less just have to focus fire these guys. I don't know if the timer rolls while that's happening.
Oh, you lost one of your dudes.
Yeah, a long time ago. I think
Well, it was
I'll
only
be...
seconds ago on my watch, but maybe I got distracted.
No, definitely, he was gone by the minute and a half. Well, like when we had like a minute and a half left. But yeah, this is why the scythe is real good. It's not nearly as much damage, but it hits quite the crowd. Oh, I lost another one. That's fine.
People are asking if we're going to play 1 and 2 and then 3 on release. Yep, that's the plan. That's why we're going through 1.
Yep.
Right now.
Yeah, so my goal, my hope, is that we can actually play through all of this game, and then... Oh, hey, thank you, JVG, for the sub. But yeah, our hope is to play through all of Darksiders 1, more or less over the course of the next, like, week or two. It's going to be a bit tough, because we're also going to be competing with Project Octopath, Octopath Traveler, and a couple other things.
Punch the Watcher, or did he spare him last minute?
He spared him. He just punched him to take his power back.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't actually kill him.
The Watcher's demeanor doesn't seem to have changed that much.
Yeah. I will say the one thing about the t-shirt theft thing that is kind of nice. I'm not a t-shirt company. It's not like this is going to screw me over financially for like the month. It's just disheartening.
I mean, you should see the people that make enamel pins. If you think t-shirts are bad, enamel pins are even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you make enamel pins, it's in...
Oh, that was weird.
It's the same concept as your vectored t-shirt style. It's something that can be traced and vectored over with flats very easily. And because they're so small, you can get a close to full res image of about the size that you would need for a small 1 to 2 inch enamel pin. And they... independent artists have been making these pins, and they find that there are exact copycats that are being produced often in China, but sometimes commissioned by large retailers. And I think I showed you that one case with the girl that drew a bunch of dogs, and her dogs were vectored over and put onto pajamas and then sold at Old Navy.
Yep.
And the thing about these is these are small artists that don't have the lawyers
The funds
or the
to
funds
pay for a lawyer. Yeah, like if I wanted to sue Old Navy, I could. Like I could afford that.
Really?
But it would, well, more than some other people. I mean, I've got enough that I could probably do a semi-prolonged legal battle, but it would take a while.
I know
And
that
many lawyers would kind of take that sort of thing on contingency, because it's like, sue a large company that's infringed on your copyright, and like you can pretty much, you have...
Do you know what's the one thing that the companies always use as an excuse, though? We had an intern.
Yeah, well, you profited off of it.
We hired a third-party graphic designer. We didn't know that the image was stolen from somebody. But the interesting thing is people that work in the merchandise industries often say that their superiors will approach them asking them to copy something.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So
when I worked for Nickelodeon, there were straight up points. There were straight up points. There were straight up points where they're just like, copy this whole game, and that's what we were supposed to do. It wasn't terribly common.
was it a game that was also owned by Nickelodeon, or they just liked the game?
They were like, hey, you know what's really popular right now?
Neopets. Why aren't you copying Neopets?
Well, no, at one point they were like, you should copy Mark of the Ninja. And I was just like, whoa, that's not okay. But that's what they wanted, and so we kind of took some of the mechanics and made it like a top-down thing. It wasn't actually that big of a deal, but wanted to work for Nickelodeon tangentially. It was like a studio that contract
worked for a
worked out.
studio that made the
But
small
when
online games.
when all of your contracts were for Nickelodeon, you worked for Nickelodeon.
Specifically SpongeBob.
And yeah, it was a lot of SpongeBob games.
I remember so many nights there would be Wander making, guess what? Thumbnails for SpongeBob.
Yeah, no,
you had a lot
actually-
of practice making thumbnails.
Yeah, believe it or not, my previous job was actually really good prep for being a YouTuber. One, it gave me a crushing sense of, crushing lack of self-worth for a while, so I needed something else to do to keep myself happy.
Mm-hmm.
And two, I got to learn a lot about graphic design-ish, to the point where, you know, I had a boost for making my YouTube thumbnails. Let's see, is Wanda the person we have to blame for SpongeBob Boat Across? No, I joined the company after. However, yes, that was our company. Boat Across, whatever the one that that Michael from Achievement Hunter featured, we had made that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Funny. Was it the bubble one? I remember that there was a bubble one.
I made a bubble one, but no, no, Boat Across was like a kind of craft your own vehicle thing.
And then you would race them?
Well, yeah, you would kind of like drive along a randomly generated track or a pre-generated track, and it was like notoriously shitty. We could play it at some point.
World of Pain. What happened?
If it still
no.
runs.
Cars are falling from the sky.
Yeah,
What's
well, we're
going
supposed
on?
to kill things with the cars. But effectively, the game was unplayably bad. Boat Across 1? I don't know if we had made Boat Across 1. But effectively... people wanted another, like, unplayably bad game. And so, that's what we delivered effectively. It was supposed to be mad jank, and it was mad jank.